just past 6 o'clock. It's Saturday the 8th of June, and welcome to this week's news coming from the heart of Wyke, Regis. And in the news this week, various activities happened on the 6th of June, on Thursday this week, to commemorate the 80th anniversary of D-Day. There was a flag raising ceremony at County Hall, Dorchester at 9 a.m. with veterans, military personnel and dignitaries present. Other events happened throughout the day, including events at the Nove Fort, and all culminating in beacon lighting at 9:15 p.m. At the same time as beacons being lit at the Nove Fort, beacons were lit on Portland and at the church tower in Wyke, Regis, and as far away as Dorchester, and of course throughout the rest of the country. The events on the 6th of June were organised to mark the incredible bravery of Allied troops who left the South Coast ports and airfields for France on the 6th of June 1944. D-Day marked the beginning of the end of World War II. The Battle of Normandy lasted for 12 more weeks, and World War II would finally come to an end in September 1945. On this momentous day 80 years ago, over 5,000 ships and landing craft carrying more than 150,000 troops descended on 5 Normandy beaches. However, between the 6th of June 1944 and the 7th of May 1945, an incredible 517,816 troops and 144,093 vehicles embarked from Weymouth and Portland alone. And that's what we've been marking this week. 80. It's probably one of those things that we won't be celebrating with veterans about for too much longer, as obviously they are all getting very much older. Now, staying with the Nove Fort we've just mentioned, one of Weymouth's most popular tourist spots has been named as the best small visitor attraction in England. This week, the Nove Fort won gold for the best small visitor attraction at the Visit England Awards for Excellence. This award was given to the Nove Fort after it claimed the same award for the South West region earlier in the year in March. Since then, the nominees have been taken forward to the rounds of national voting and national judging. The team at the Nove were very pleased to win the award and said it fills the volunteers, community and visitors alike with pride. Nove Fort Chairman James Farquhar-Harson, commenting on the award, said, "This award fills our team, our visitors and our community of Weymouth and Dorset with pride. The site connects our community to the people who came before us, particularly those who served in the military. We, as its custodians, have a responsibility to make the story of their lives accessible to our visitors and pass the fort on to the next generations, as well as a conserved and thriving entity. This award acknowledges that we are achieving those things to an exemplary level." The news comes as the fort has experienced record numbers of visitors for the first 3 months of the year. Now, Dorset also celebrated a second award, with the Acorn Inn picking up a silver award in the pub category. The pub in Evershot is run by Richard and Natalie Legg and is no stranger to accolades, having been named among one of the cosiest seasonal stays for 2024 from Red Magazine. Now, with the general election less than a month away, are you ready to cast your vote? Elections for members of Parliament are taking place on Thursday the 4th of July. To have your say, you need to be registered to vote. So if you're not already registered, you'll need to do so by midnight on Tuesday the 18th of June. It's quick and easy. You can visit the special government website. So if you go for register to vote on Google and check you're going to a gov.uk website, you will be able to register. Now, voting in person at a polling station, you will need to receive your polling card. You can only vote at your allocated polling station, so you need to read on the card where it tells you to go. And don't forget now, you need voter ID to vote at a polling station. Now, this can be a passport or driver's licence, or some concessionary travel passes such as an older person's bus pass or an Oyster 60 Plus card if you've got Oyster where you are. Voters will be able to use expired photo ID as well, so if you've got an out-of-date passport As long as you are still recognisable from the photo, you can still use it. Anyone that does not have one of the accepted forms of ID can apply for a free photographic ID online by filling in a form by 5 o'clock on Wednesday, June the 26th. So if you're voting by post, you will have already signed up for a postal vote. If you'd like to apply for a postal vote this election, you need to apply before 5 o'clock on Wednesday the 19th of June. And if you want somebody to vote on your behalf, what's called a proxy vote, you can nominate somebody to do that for you, and you'll need to give a reason why you want a proxy vote, and you'll need to apply by 5 o'clock on Wednesday, June the 26th. All of these things can be done on the gov.uk website, so just search for register to vote or proxy vote for election and you will get to the right websites. But make sure they are .gov.uk websites when you click onto them. Now, last November, a team of guerrilla gardeners from Dorchester Transport Action Group were out and about behind Tesco's in Dorchester, tidying up a much-used lane popular with pedestrians and cyclists, and we actually reported that at the time. Now, the footpath between Sawmills Lane and Tesco's is very narrow and had become overgrown with vegetation, hemmed in by chicken wire and potentially dangerous after dark. Since then, the DTAG group has continued to try and engage with Network Rail and Tesco's about the path, but with no response or acceptance of responsibility from either for keeping it clear. Stuart Palmer, who's the DTAG chair, explained this path has always been well used by both pedestrians and cyclists, yet nobody seems to accept responsibility for its maintenance. And despite us voluntarily clearing the path last November and again contacting Network Rail and Tesco's, they've done nothing and the path is again overgrown. So once more the guerrilla gardeners are getting out their shears and cutters and will be out clearing the path over this weekend. A charity car wash is being held at Weymouth this Sunday, tomorrow, the 9th of June, to raise money for the firefighters charity and a Camp Borneo expedition. The event is being held at Weymouth Fire Station on Radipole Lane between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. and firefighters will be washing cars in return for donations. The station is supporting crew manager Oshi's daughter, who is fundraising for a trip to Borneo, where they will be undertaking some community project work for 1 month in July next year, that's 2025, with Camps International. Station manager Martin Charles said the firefighters charity provides everyone with the fire and rescue service with a vital lifeline when things are tough, whether it's rehabilitation after an injury or someone else to turn to during mental health or financial challenges. Drivers can come and get their vehicles cleaned by our firefighters and make a charity donation to support these two worthy causes. The firefighters charity offers specialist lifelong support for all serving and retired members of the UK Fire Services community, covering mental, physical and social well-being. It is reliant on donations to meet the cost of operating its services to support over 55,000 beneficiaries. So you can pop along there tomorrow to get your car washed, and you can support that Borneo trip and the firefighters charity. Now, we've got several requests from Dorset Police this week, and unfortunately some of them are rather sad. It's been very bad time on the roads in the area over the last few weeks, and unfortunately there's been a few road deaths and serious injuries. Firstly, right on the doorstep of Wyke Regis TV here in Wyke Regis, Dorset Police received a report at 1:57 on Thursday the 6th of June, that's this Thursday just gone, of a collision in High Street, Wyke Regis, Weymouth, involving a blue Skoda Octavia that had collided with two parked vehicles and a pedestrian. Officers are appealing for witnesses or anyone with relevant dashcam footage to come forward as they investigate the serious injury collision, and that road was closed from just before 2 o'clock through to almost 9:30 in the evening that day. Emergency services attended the road closure were put in place as they responded to the incident. The pedestrian, a woman aged in her 70s, was taken by air ambulance to hospital for treatment to serious injuries. The driver of the Skoda, a woman aged in her 60s, was treated for minor injuries. Sergeant Richard Stride of the road policing team said, "We are conducting inquiries to establish the full circumstances of this collision, and I would urge any witnesses who have not already spoken to police to please make contact with us." And particularly they would like anyone who has got any dash cam footage who was driving in the vicinity at the time of the collision to come forward. Also, Dorset Police received a report at 6:23 p.m. on Thursday, the same day, 6th of June, of a single vehicle collision on Portersham Hill involving a silver Suzuki SX4. Officers are appealing for witnesses or anyone with relevant dashcam footage to come forward following a fatal road traffic collision. Emergency services attended, and very sadly the driver, a man aged in his 60s from Bridport area, was pronounced dead at the scene. Road closures were put in place as emergency services responded to the incident, and they were lifted shortly after 9 p.m. Inspector Craig Tatton of the roads policing team said, "Our thoughts are with the family of the loved ones of the man who very sadly died, and we're carrying out our inquiries to establish the full circumstances of this incident. I would urge any witnesses to the collision or the manner of driving of the vehicle involved prior to it to please contact us." Again, they'd also like to hear from motorists who may have captured any relevant dashcam footage. And a third one for you. Officers appealing for witnesses for anyone with relevant dashcam footage to come forward following a fatal road traffic collision near Abbotsbury. This happened at 12:34 p.m. on Saturday the 1st of June. And it was a collision on the B3157 Coast Road at Abbotsbury Hill involving a blue Yamaha motorcycle and a grey Volvo XC90. Emergency services attended, and very sadly the motorcyclist, a Weymouth man aged in his 20s, was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the Volvo did not sustain any serious injuries. Road closures were put in place as the emergency services responded to the incident and for examination of the collision scene to be conducted. Sergeant Mike Gatfield of the roads policing team said, "Our thoughts are with the family of the man who very sadly died in this collision. We are now carrying out a thorough investigation so we can establish the full circumstances of the collision. I would urge any witnesses who have not already spoken to the police or any motorists who may have captured relevant dashcam footage to please come forward." Now, the police would like to thank members of the public involved with all of these incidents for their patience and understanding at the time of the road closures, where they obviously dealt with these sad fatalities and very serious injuries. Now, if you've got any information on any of those incidents or any dashcam footage, please give Dorset Police a call on 101. If any information you would like to give anonymously, of course you can do this via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. Now, this summer, Dorset Council and Litter Free Dorset will be celebrating Dorset's roadside verges as havens for biodiversity and wildlife with the Love Your Verge campaign. The campaign raises awareness of the council's work to increase biodiversity in verges as part of its efforts to make more space for wildlife in the county, whilst making sure junctions and lines of sight are kept clear for road users. This year's campaign will feature colourful roadside signage with bees and butterflies and the slogans "Making Space for Nature" to highlight the importance of Dorset's verges for wildlife. Over the past few years, changes to verge management in Dorset have meant an increase in cut and collect mowing, a technique which helps to reduce the soil fertility, slowing grass growth rates and creating a better environment for wildflowers. Where it's safe to do so, the council has also reduced verge cutting throughout its rural road network to allow more flowers to complete their life cycles before being cut. And verges which are already of high value for wildlife, known as conservation verges, are being managed to ensure biodiversity can continue to thrive each year. This approach benefits insects such as bees and butterflies by providing essential food sources for these pollinators, supporting their survival and reproduction. Moreover, the diverse habitats along road verges serve as important breeding grounds and corridors for pollinators, enhancing their populations and contributing to overall ecosystem resilience. Now, these conservation efforts form part of a wider initiative to recover nature across Dorset. Dorset Council is currently working alongside Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole Council and Natural England with residents, communities and organisations to create a plan which will help grow, improve and connect nature locally. The new local nature recovery plan will join up the wonderful work already taking place across the county and highlight where more work is needed to help nature thrive. This will be crucial in helping Dorset reach its 30 by 30 goal, a target set by UK government which aims to see 30% of land, rivers and seas protected for nature by 2030. Now, if you want to read more about those plans and how Dorset Council is managing the verges for road users and wildlife, you can pop across to the Dorset Council the Dorset Council website. Now, if you want to report any roadside litter, so if you find large amounts of litter on the roadside or dumped in verges again, you can report that on the Dorset Council website and they will arrange to go along and tidy that up. Now, another thing from Dorset Police this week, neighbourhood policing officers across Dorset are to provide an improved visible presence this summer in a bid to reduce antisocial and criminal behaviour. The initiative, called 100 Days of Summer, will see officers on dedicated foot patrols at key locations and times for the next 100 days. This evidence-based approach, which is proven to reduce antisocial behaviour and criminal behaviour by carrying out highly visible patrols, has operated in the Melcombe Regis area of Weymouth over the past few years and was positively received by the public, who appreciated the stronger visible presence of uniformed officers, resulting in significantly reduced antisocial behaviour. Now, police constables and police community support officers will be visible in key areas of Bournemouth, Poole and Weymouth on a daily basis and will be supported by special constables. Officers will also be carrying out regular joint patrols with Community Safety Accreditation Scheme and other designated officers from the local authorities. Assistant Chief Constable Mark Callaghan said, "We are committed to ensuring that residents and visitors to Dorset feel safe and are able to enjoy their time here. With longer days and warmer weather, the months of June, July and August are our busiest throughout the year for reports of antisocial behaviour." So that's 100 days of summer there, visible patrols or a higher rate of visible patrols from Dorset Police. Now, Dorset Library's opening hours are to change from the 1st of July. As part of Dorset Council's library strategy development, new opening hours will come into force on the 1st of July. Dorset Council asked local communities when they wanted the libraries to be open. Based on the feedback and identified community needs, they have updated their library opening hours. The new hours were published in July 2023 and will launch next month. They will also update their activities and events timetable to align with the new hours. The new opening hours will come into effect, as we said, on the 1st of July. Now, during the consultation, you told Dorset Council that you wanted standard hours so that customers know when the library is opening hours throughout the week, Monday to Saturday, morning opening for preschool children and their carers, retirees and those who do not work, Saturdays and afternoon opening for school-aged children and young people, Saturdays, lunchtime and evenings for those who work, and a spread of hours amongst the geographical group of libraries. This is so that not all libraries in a geographical area are closed on the same weekdays, and times when the library is closed and partner or community groups can hire them. Now, Alan Dunn, who's the Executive Director for Corporate Services from Dorset Council, said, "Over the course of 18 months through our Let's Talk Libraries campaign, we consulted and collaborated with our customers, communities, employees and partners to develop a new library strategy, which was adopted and published in July 2023. The strategy outlines the library services contribution to Dorset and how we will support individuals and communities to be more connected and improve life chances, with a mission to inspire, connect and enable our communities through our services. The development of the strategy was community-led and evidence-based. Over the course of 2 phases of public consultation, we built a clearer picture of both what our current library users and our non-library users wanted to see from us now and in the future. Our library teams are excited to welcome customers during their new opening hours." Now, while some libraries may see bigger changes than others, overall they've been able to keep most of the same number of weekly staffed hours, and basically the weekly staffed hours are going to be 630 instead of 631 across the library network. So not a significant change, just different times and different sort of days and parts of the day. Now you can find out more about the new opening hours and read the strategy on the library pages of the Dorset Council website. And I think the important thing to say is when they started this piece of work, it was expected that there would be closures of libraries and a reduction in service at libraries. And I think having consulted with the public and heard the public's views, that very much the library service is very much still there. It's not a reduced service, and it has got a strategy for the future years. Now, Weymouth's Repair Cafe that runs out of the Top Club in Littermore has been celebrating today at an event this morning running from 10:30 to 12:30. Volunteers were on hand as usual to repair items for free, and it's going to be the last chance to visit the Repair Cafe until September. Now, it was founded 5 years ago, and the Weymouth Repair Cafe has recorded more fixes than any other repair cafe in the UK that is registered and reports their fixes on the International Repair Cafe monitoring system. So very, very busy there at the Weymouth Repair Cafe, and say the busiest in the UK that is reporting their repairs. Now, they've repaired all sorts of things: electronics, clocks, Daleks, Batmobiles, dolls, teddy bears, you name it, they have repaired it. Currently they have 55 volunteers that work on items that members of the public bring along to be repaired, and the Repair Cafe also likes to share skills and knowledge to give people the confidence to have a go at repairing things themselves. Their motto is, don't bin it, fix it. So there we go, that's the Repair Cafe in Littermore. It's taking a break now until September, but save up those items if you don't feel like having a go at repairing them yourselves, and why not take them along when they start again back in September. And finally, in our headlines this week, a popular Weymouth concert series is set to undergo a rebrand and expand its programme. The Weymouth Lunchtime Chamber Concerts will be bringing more high-quality classical music and musicians to Weymouth. The series, founded by Weymouth-born pianist Duncan Honeybourne, has become well known as a platform for young professionals and established artists, and is now taking its activities up a gear. Last year's summer concert, featuring chamber musicians coached by Duncan at the Royal Academy of Music Junior Department, was such a success that this year a special summer series of 4 extra Sunday afternoon concerts is being presented under the organisation's new name, Chamber Music Weymouth. In addition to 2 young artist showcase events on the 9th of July and the 16th of July, Chamber Music Weymouth will also present a special concert of sea shanties and music inspired by or evocative of the sea and coastal landscapes, with Lyme Bay Moonrakers and Duncan Honeybourne on July the 14th. The summer series will conclude on July the 28th with a song recital given by baritone John Barker and pianist Helen Crawthorne. Full details of all the concerts and events and a detailed history of the series can be found at weymouthchamberconcerts.com, weymouthchamberconcerts.com. And that's the end of our headlines this week. Now, a couple of months ago we brought you some films from Dorset National Landscapes, and if you remember, we did some, I think, on Golden Cap and I think the Arn Peninsula, possibly. And I was thinking, with the summer upon us and lots of people liking to get out and explore the countryside and the coastline and go out for a nice walk, I thought we would share another of the Dorset National Landscapes videos with you, and this time it's Cerne Abbas. The historic village of Cerne Abbas is often known for the Cerne Abbas giant, but also has a historic past with interesting buildings, remains of an abbey and stunning church, along with lovely crystal clear riverside walks and hilltop views. Let's take a little look at Cerne Abbas now. There we are. There's a whole lot of places to explore in Dorset or even in South Dorset. And if you like to pop along to the Dorset National Landscapes website, you will see lots of them listed and the chance to look at some of the videos they have produced. So either go into Google and type in Dorset National Landscapes, or the website address is www.dorset-nl.org.uk. And maybe it will give you some ideas of some places that you can go out and explore this summer. Well, hopefully it is warm and dry before winter sets back in again, and perhaps you will feel more at home, tucked up at home watching the TV and not out there exercising. Now it's time in the programme this week to go over to our regular contributor Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to Wyke Regis TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, Bad Boys Ride or Die was released in cinemas as the fourth instalment in the Bad Boys franchise. The film stars Will Smith and Martin Lawrence as Miami PD detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, who investigate false corruption allegations against their late friend and captain, only to be forced to go on the run themselves. This film is notable for being Will Smith's first film after his Oscar slap controversy. It's also notable because the directors Adil and Balil, I believe that's how it's pronounced, they directed the third film, For Life, and then they went on to direct the Marvel miniseries Miss Marvel. Then they went on to direct Batgirl, which was famously shelved after being in pre-production because of money issues at the studio. So this is their first film after all that roller coaster. I went into this film expecting to at least enjoy it because I liked Bad Boys 1. I didn't like Bad Boys 2 because it felt very juvenile and I disliked Michael Bay's juvenile style. And I liked 3. 3 was probably the one I liked the most out of the franchise. And in this one, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's buddy cop dynamic is still entertaining after 30 years. But the film is just boring. Like, the script and directing are wobbly, and the film literally reeks of Michael Bay's infantile signature. But even during moments like shootout scenes, I was just completely bored. So I gave the film 2.5 stars out of 5. This week, a new Blumhouse horror film titled Imaginary was released on home video. The film stars DeWanda Wise as a woman who returns to her childhood home with her family only for her stepdaughter's imaginary friend to pull them into increasingly sinister events. The film was released in cinemas in March and was a box office success, but was a failure with critics and audiences. Now, I checked out this film because I like a lot of the horror films that Jason Blum produces, and this film exceeded my expectations. I think the film's actually quite intelligent with its horror. I think DeWanda Wise and Piper Brown give great performances, and the film is photographed really well, and it brilliantly balances sort of like family drama with creepiness, but there's also an element of like sweetness to the film. The third act is weak, but there was stuff about it that I liked, but I can't say because it'd be spoilers. So I give the film 4 stars out of 5. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I'll be previewing Pixar's Inside Out 2. I won't have a review for it next week because I'm seeing it on next Saturday. And I will also be reviewing the home video release of Michael Mann's Ferrari, which came out on Sky Cinema, and I haven't seen it, so it's coming out on Blu-ray, so I'm watching it on Blu-ray. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much for that, Andrew. We'll be back with Andrew next week. It's now time in the programme for the National Weekend Weather Forecast, and we go over to the Met Office, and again this week we are joined once again by Marco Patagna.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Marco Patagna. Here's your latest weather update from the Met Office. We're seeing a chilly north to northwesterly airflow across the UK at the moment. Low pressure sitting towards the northeast of the UK, high pressure out towards the west, generating that northerly flow, with weather fronts at times feeding down in that northerly flow, enhancing showery conditions. So looking at things in more detail for the rest of today, we've got a legacy of cloud and patchy rain clearing from the far south and southeast of England, brightening skies from the northwest. So lots of sunshine developing across parts of Wales and Midlands, into parts of Northern Ireland too. One or two showers further north across northern England, but the bulk of the showers this afternoon reserved for Scotland, particularly towards the north and west. He'll be quite heavy at times, merging to give one or two longer spells of rain, and one or two of the showers could be quite heavy and blustery, coupled with that north to northwesterly wind taking the edge off the temperatures. So temperatures no better here than low to mid-teens Celsius, peaking down towards the south and southeast at 19 or 20 degrees. 20 there in London is 68 in Fahrenheit. As we head into the evening through the overnight period, we'll continue to see some showers towards the north and northwest of the UK, still quite heavy and blustery at times, and then merging later on overnight to some longer spells of rain, particularly across parts of Northern Ireland and the southwest of Scotland, whereas further south and southeast, the bulk of England and Wales, set fair, cloud melting away, but it will turn quite chilly here by the morning. Towns and city temperatures generally holding up near double figures, but in some rural spots we could see temperatures down to 1 to 3 Celsius, low enough for a touch of grass frost by Sunday morning. Towards the north and northwest though, with the cloud, the wind and those outbreaks of rain, temperatures generally holding up here, 7 to 10 Celsius, so frost-free here, but I say a particularly chilly night for the time of year towards the south and east of the UK. As we head into Sunday itself, it will stay quite showery towards the north and northwest of the UK. Those showers, as I say, merge into some longer spells of rain across parts of Northern Ireland and southwest Scotland, with some of that rain also pushing into the north of England and the north of Wales as we go into the afternoon on Sunday. Further north, it's a case of sunshine and showers, still quite blustery here too. Whereas towards the south and southeast of the UK, after a fine sunny start, clouds starting to move in from the north and northwest, although notice towards the southwest staying quite sunny till the end of the day. Once again, it's quite chilly for the time of year, temperatures peaking towards the north and northwest at 12 to 14 Celsius, whereas towards the south and southeast, similar to Saturday, at 19 or 20 Celsius. That's pretty much it for me, but of course you can keep tuned to the Met Office forecast by following us on social media and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'll see you soon, take care, bye-bye.
Thank you very much there, Marco, for that. And now looking at our weather on the south coast here down in Dorset. Here we go. Looking a little bit cooler this week and a bit unsettled. So it looks like we should get some sunny spells, but a chance of some thundery storms during the week. We'll just have to see if that pans out. I've certainly noticed over recent weeks that neither the Met Office or our local forecast tend to come to fruition as planned. So it's quite difficult working out whether you need to take a coat or a brolly with you when you go out, and if you're planning any events like we get involved in with sailing during the week, sometimes it's a bit unpredictable. But there we go, that's the vagaries of the weather, and we just have to go with it. Now we're going to our What's On section, and we've got coming up at Weymouth Pavilion, appropriately this week on the 13th of June, the D-Day Darlings, who are doing a national tour. On the 15th of June, Robert Lamberti presents Perfectly George, that's the music of George Michael. 20th of June, Big Girls Don't Cry. 26th of June, Rumours of Fleetwood Mac. And 11th of July, Celine, My Heart Will Go On. For details of those shows and lots of other shows and things happening at Weymouth Pavilion, pop along to their website, weymouthpavilion.com, or give the box office a call on 01305 783 225. Now, the North Fork obviously been very busy this week. Next published thing they've got coming up is the 3rd of August, Songs in the Summer with Wessex Musical Theatre, and then 15th of August, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and advance notice that Pause for Thought will be back. That's the dog show on the 29th of September. For details of those and anything else that they're going to put on over the summer, and I'm sure they will when we get into the summer holiday time or school holidays, northfort.org.uk. Now, performances coming up in South and West Dorset and in our immediate part of Dorset, not too far away from Arts Reach. 16th of June, Sherlock and Watson, A Murder in the Garden at Winterbourne Stickland. 1st of August, Love Riot at Iberton Village Hall. 8th of August, the Storyland Adventures in Storyland at Lytton Cheney Community Hall. Now, more information on Arts Reach and all their performances, and if you're prepared to get in the car or get on your bike or get on some public transport and travel throughout Dorset, there are lots and lots of things happening out in our rural villages that are funded and supported by Arts Reach. So do have a look at their website, artsreach.co.uk, for more details. Now, there's guided tours of Kingston Moorwood coming up this coming week, Friday the 14th of June, and then again on Monday, July the 8th. It starts at 1:30 on both days. You meet at the Animal Park shop, and the cost of entry to the park and the tour is £7.50. So that's this coming Friday the 14th of June, £7.50, 1:30. Meet at the Animal Park shop for a guided tour by the head gardener of Kingston Moorwood. And if you like medieval music, a band of musicians called Courtill Music will be performing at St Nicholas Church, Broadway, next Saturday the 13th of June at 3 p.m. They will be playing music from the courts of Europe throughout the centuries. And this weekend, the Lyme Regis Fossil Festival is on. It's been on today. It's on again tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's spread out through quite an area of Lyme Regis. The Lyme Regis Museum, the Jubilee Pavilion, the Marine Parade, the Lister Gardens and the Marine Theatre and Hub. Now, this year marks the 200th anniversary of Mary Anning's discovery of the plesiosaur. Entry to the museum is free during the festival. There are talks and fossil walks over the weekend, and there will be film screenings over the weekend as well, including the new Mary Anning film, which will be screened at 6:15 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday. Now, church services this weekend are 8 a.m, a communion service at All Saints Church, that's tomorrow, 9:30 communion at All Saints Church, 11 a.m. at St Edmund's Church, and then in the evening at All Saints Church it is Music Sunday tomorrow apparently. 6:30 p.m. there will be a traditional evensong service at All Saints Church, and if that works out well, they are looking to introduce that a few times throughout the year. So that's a traditional evensong service at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, All Saints Church, for Music Sunday. Well, we're almost at the end of this week's programme. Of course, we have our quiz for you this evening at 7:30. That is a free quiz that is open to any members of the community who want to join us. The streams will go live about 7:20, and the quiz will start prompt at 7:30 and runs for around about or just over an hour. So do please join us. If you have any news items for us, any events coming up, or anything else happening in the community you wish to share with us, you can always drop us a line at any time at news@wykeregis.tv, news@wykeregis.tv. We would love to hear from you and love to have your information or events or stories to consider for future programmes. Well, that's it. We're at the end of this week's programme. Just leaves for me to say, have a very good weekend. Hopefully the weather will hold for us. Have a good week ahead, and I look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.